welcome back. Patch 6.2.2 drops hopefully on September 1st. The patch is on the launcher if you want to download it early. So what's in the patch? Let's talk about it. Flying in Draenor. If you were a diligent player, unlike myself, you finished everything needed for the Draenor Pathfinder achievement. So on Tuesday, hopefully, you will be flying in Draenor. Remember that once the achievement is unlocked, it is account-wide. So if you unlock it on one toon, all of your toons will be able to fly. PvP changes. Mercenary mode. I spoke about the faction imbalance for PvP in a previous video. Blizzard is trying to address this in two ways: Mercenary mode and buffing Horde racials. Players are now able to act as a mercenary for the opposite faction in PvP whenever your faction, which most likely would be Alliance, is experiencing a long wait time to get into Ashran or unrated battlegrounds. Agents of the enemy faction will appear at your base in Ashran and allow you to enter Ashran or battlegrounds disguised as the enemy player and actually fight as the opposite faction. While competing as a mercenary, players will automatically have their race changed into one appropriate for the opposite faction, and players will be able to still earn the same rewards as winning or losing as their original faction, except for faction-specific achievements. Now, one thing that they've done is they've buffed Horde racials. It's the second way they're trying to deal with this imbalance. Blood Elves. Arcane Torrent now silences all enemies in an 8-yard radius for 3 seconds and now has a reduced cooldown of 1.5 minutes. Goblin, Rocket Barrage, and Rocket Jump now have a 1.5 minute cooldown. Orcs, Hardiness, now reduces the duration of stun effects by an additional 20%, and it's up from 15%. Trolls, Voodoo Shuffle now reduces the duration of all movement impairing effects by 20%, which is up from 15%. Tauren, War Stomp, now has a reduced cooldown of 1.5 minutes. Undead, Touch of the Grave now scales its damage based on 50% of the character's attack power or spell power, whichever is greater. Will these buffs be enough to bring players back to the Horde? Realistically, we won't see a real change for this until the expansion, when players are making new Demon Hunter toons or are preparing for their journey in Legion. In my opinion, it's too soon now to tell. I don't think people are going to say, yay, and then pay for a transfer. Time will tell. Speaking of leaving garrisons behind, it's interesting that Blizzard has added a new events coordinator to level 3 garrisons. You visit the coordinator during Hallow's End or Feast of the Winter Veil to obtain garrison decorations that are usable all year round. Now this is a nice feature, being able to decorate your garrison, but it would have been so much nicer if this was implemented earlier. Perhaps one day Blizzard will make an expansion that is relevant longer than one expansion, giving players a reason to go back to those areas other than to level. Now regarding raids and dungeons, tying in the events, players now receive a timed warp badge when they complete time-walking dungeons. These badges can be redeemed at new vendors that appear during the time-walking bonus event. Remember that. They appear during the event, so you have to redeem them during the event. The new vendors sell new toys and mounts and heirlooms and reputation tokens, and in addition to gear that scales up to the character's level at the time of purchase. The weekly events are now going to start on Wednesday, so that players have longer to participate in them. Personally, I'm a fan of the events. I think that it's good. Other MMOs have had these for quite some time, and I think it's long overdue for World of Warcraft to have them. The Legendary Ring questline, another thing I have not even begun. New weekly quests have been added to help people like me catch up in earlier stages of the legendary ring quest line for High Mall and Black Rock Foundry. Okay, there are a lot of things in the patch, and I'm going to include a link in the description for them. Class changes, a deserter mechanic to Ashran, which I think should be automatic in anything they release at this point. Other dungeon changes. Yeah, there's lots of stuff. Are you ready for flying? Honestly, there was plenty of time to get it done. I admit I haven't done it, and I'm not one of those people that think that the terms should change because I purposely and consciously decided not to do certain things. The two things that I have left to do for Pathfinder is treasure finding and the rep grinds. I should have them done within a week or two. I'm not in that big of a rush because I'm honestly spending more time outside of Draenor than in Draenor lately. If you have the gold though, and you're really into getting this, and the rep grind is the problem, grab the Medallion of Legion. It's on the auction house. If you don't want to hunt down the rares for it yourself, it adds 1,000 rep to all the Draenor factions, which is great. Just be prepared if you're going on the auction house for it to shell out a lot of gold. Depending on your server, it can be very expensive. On mine, it's 5,000 gold plus per medallion. Another thing, handy notes. If you haven't done the treasure map, handy notes was recently updated. So if you want to use that add-on without hearing the errors, there you go. That's it for this one. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel or follow me on Twitter to keep up with new videos. And I will see you guys in the next one.